Hey, hey! Welcome to my page. I'm Ashley with Willow's Home Decor, and I'm gonna paint tonight. So if you're joining me on the replay, comment replay, and I'd love to know where you're watching from. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. So I put out a post yesterday asking what you guys wanted to see me paint today, and I think everyone but one person chose the Santa boots. So I am gonna do Christmas. I just got some really cute new Christmas stuff and I just really wanted to paint it. I am gonna start getting ready for my shows coming up this holiday season. So I'm actually kind of behind because I have 3 fairly big shows, 2 to 4 days. So I need to get to work. I'm in my painting clothes, so I'm ready to get down and dirty, but I thought I would show you what I painted today, before I do that. And one of them was this little guy. He's so cute. He's just so cute. So this is a door hanger. He's just really pretty easy and he's so cute. And I just love his little glasses and his eyebrows. And I did take some video of it, so I will probably put a reel out with it sped up so you can see how I made him. But super cute and really actually pretty quick, pretty easy. And then I did, okay, so we're gonna paint this tonight, but I did paint it earlier today because this is going to be kind of the I don't want to say plain version, but we're gonna fancy it up. I'm gonna do some greenery and some lights and maybe a jingle bell and a bow. I don't know, we'll see what comes together. But I did cut another one so that I can paint that and you can see how I do that. And then, yeah, so it says jolly. I know it's backwards. It's just how things are on Facebook land. But super cute. And this part you can, you don't have to put it on there if you don't want to. These all are separate pieces. You don't have to put them on. But yeah, super cute. So we're gonna paint this. I am doing like a distressed version of it. So, and I tried a new technique that I learned. So I'm going to show you how I do that. But yeah, let's get started. The boots themselves. Hi, Holly. The boots are pretty quick, but yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to paint another version of this, but we're gonna spiff it up. I'm gonna put greenery and some other stuff, and I'll probably not put this on there, some lights and whatnot, so I'm excited. Hopefully it turns out. I haven't done it yet, so we'll see. Okay, so let me flip the camera. Okay, and then I painted this one earlier today. Isn't he cute? This is a door hanger, so he's got the little hanger on the back. Okay, so let's see here. Let me get this adjusted so it's not in the way. So this is the base. It is 3 pieces, so it's kind of chunky. You're only gonna have to paint one because these are all gonna glue together. And then we have the boots. So I did these pieces black. This is red. And then you have these pieces which are white, obviously. And then this is how I usually cut things so that I can quickly and easily sand them. They just pop right out of here. So some of that holly and the berries I'm not going to use, or whatever you call this, greenery and the berries. Okay. So these are going to be black. This doesn't need to be painted because it's going to be in the back. And then I probably don't need to paint two of those because I'm not going to use them both. And this will be white. Okay, so pretty simple colors for this one today. And I've already been painting, so I've got some stuff already out here. Let's see, this is probably dry. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Where's my tape? I'll tape a few things here. So I just use this blue painter's tape and put the pieces on it. Makes it easier to group and paint them without having to hold them or them sliding around. Whoa. Our dogs just went ballistic. They're always barking at something. Our neighbor has two cows, so I don't know if they're barking at that. Oh, Kevin's yelling at them. Okay. They're a good alarm system. They bark at everything. And they let you know if somebody's here. Okay, this is in my way. All right. I'm just gonna get it started. So you don't really have to paint past this point because it's going to be covered up. And I'm using the makeup wedge or makeup sponge, whatever you want to call it, and just kind of gliding it around. Makes quick work of these bigger pieces. And I'll do a second coat on there. And then on smaller pieces, I usually kind of pounce it like that. Oh, missed a spot. I know it's only June, but I'm excited to paint Christmas. I was starting to feel like, okay, I'm ready to get back into it. And then I'm going to do this black as well. Wow. I've never seen that before. Facebook's advertising to me during my live, telling me, oh, you can pay $60 and reach up to 165,000 people. Goodness. It's pay to play around here these days. Need a little more black. Never too early for Christmas, I know. Especially when you're a solo business owner. And I have, let's see, I have one, this year I'm doing a show in October, which seems really early. It's actually, well, I mean, yeah, it's before Halloween. It's like mid-October, but it's a big Christmas like holiday show that they've been doing for years, like 30 plus years in Tacoma. And I'm gonna have a little space there, and then I'm also going to be doing some workshops there, so I gotta get ready for that because that's new. And then I have my normal 2-day show in November, beginning of November, and then I have a 4-day show at the beginning of December. So I got lots of work to do. And I have some stuff left from last year, but not nearly enough to fill a 10 by 20 booth, so. I've been seeing some creators like already starting to paint fall projects, so I'm like, whoa. But here I am painting Christmas. So 2 coats should be enough on this, because I'm going to be distressing it. Okay, so let that dry. Get this one more time on this. Okay, so we'll let those dry. And then, so I'm using the dark crimson, which is a Bear paint color, Bear from Home Depot. It's not one I color matched. It is their color, but I really like it. It's a little darker than like a bright red. Normally I would use a brighter red, but I've been really liking this one. I used this one a lot last year too. I just ordered a bunch of paints from Deco Art, so I'm excited to get those. I've never ordered from them before, so we'll see. I ordered them yesterday afternoon, and of course, I got a notification like, your item has shipped, but really it hadn't. They just printed a label. Love it when that happens. But, hopefully they'll be here in a couple days. I think Decor, I looked it up, it was like they're in Kansas or Kentucky or something. So, we'll see. But I got some pretty like glittery paints to try, and just some new colors. And then if I like them, I'll usually color match them because it's a lot cheaper. Already making a mess here. So if I get it on the side and I notice it right away, I usually will try to clean it up before it gets dry. Sometimes I don't see it, and so I'll go around with like a black marker. I've used like permanent marker, like Sharpie type marker, and I've also used acrylic markers. So whatever you got, you could also go around with like dark colored paint. Clean that up, or if you don't care, you can leave it. Some people don't really care. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I don't really go to Michael's very much anyways, but I know like Hobby Lobby's, I heard they're pretty much getting rid of all their paint except for their own brand, which I've never used. I always used chalk paint forever until I started doing the classes, and then I needed larger quantities of paint, so I paint match, but sometimes I'll get colors from that are deco art and just to try them out. Okay, let me do the back of the boots here before I do the white, since I already got this red out. So you really only need to paint like in the middle here. Because you're not gonna see, this is gonna be covered by the black, and that's gonna be covered by the white. Of course, I had to spend enough to get free shipping, which is, I think it was like $60, which seems crazy, but I just kind of stocked up on the glittery paint because that's not something I'll use a ton of, but so it'll last me a long time. But I'm excited to get it. I got these on Amazon, but these are not the ones that I thought I was ordering. So these are Galaxy glitter, which is like, is like really kind of big chunky glitter. That's not what I thought I ordered. And so when it came yesterday, I was like, oh no. And then I was looking for the Glamour glitter, which is like more of a fine glitter. I probably didn't need it at all, but I wanted to try it. $50. Yeah, I don't know. I swear it was 60, but you might be right. It's not too hard to spend that much on there, though, really. I don't know, it's hard to pick the colors because there's so many. Okay, let that dry. And then I'm gonna do these like a golden color. Let's see. This is called mustard. But then I'm gonna go over it with the glittery paint I have. I'm not sure if I really need to do this, but the paint I have is like a metallic, so it's pretty solid, but I did this on the last one. Oh, I didn't know that. You probably have to sign up for an account. I don't know if I did that. I'll have to check. I used my like shop app or whatever to pay. So it like pre-filled all my information. I didn't like create an account. So I wonder if I can still get points. That's nice. At least they do that. And some of them were on sale. Like some of them, I don't know if they're being discontinued. Some of the colors were like 90 cents, or maybe it was 90 cents off, something like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna use this off-white color. This one is called Swiss Coffee. It is from Bear as well. But I'm sure there's plenty of off-white colors you can find. Let's see. Oh, okay. I think I only got maybe like one of them was on sale. That must be what you do all your painting with. Whoop. I have a whole bunch of like those 2-ounce bottles. They're just like different brands. I have some Apple Barrel and Folk Art. I always forget to look at them though, because I have my big wall with all my paint on it. What is that? I think that might have been black paint I got on there somehow. Yeah. Sucks they're making it harder to find. And then on Amazon, it's like, you don't want to buy the deco art on there. It's so expensive. I've bought some. If it comes in a pack, like it's usually a decent price, but then you might get a bunch of colors you don't really want. And then I have spent, you know, like just for one, I've spent maybe like $5 or $6 just to get one color because I didn't need to make some big order. But they're not cheap on there. I wonder why Michaels is limiting their paint. Sucks now. There's no Joann's. Hobby Lobby's like, I don't know what they're doing. Home decor, they're not really like, seems like they've moved away from being for the crafter. So these little white pieces have the score lines on them, and if you get some paint in there, you can just clear those out with a sharp. I don't have there's like a pink tool you can get at the Dollar Tree that has like the sharp end on it, and I don't have one here, but it's basically just a pokey, I don't know what they call it. Yeah. I have some of their Waverly chalk paint that I have used in the past, and then I have some apple barrel from them, but I don't really use any of those very often. Funny, last week we were talking about we have a Ben Franklin here, which is like a small craft store. I don't know if they have them in other states, but it's the only craft store that's close to us, and it's closing, which doesn't really surprise me, but they were just way overpriced, and I think I literally have been there once since we moved up here, and I turned around and walked out when I saw the prices. But yeah, they're closing, I guess, the beginning of next year, so I said that in one of the local community groups, and people were upset about it because it's the closest craft store, which is nice when you have kids with art projects or school, school projects, and our Walmart doesn't have a very big selection of any kind of art stuff, so. Okay, so let those dry. I'm going to go over this red one more time. Got on there pretty good, but do one more pass. I got up this morning and I thought I was going to have to go buy a new fridge today. I don't know what the heck was going on with our fridge, but it was showing the temperature was like 44 degrees. So I called Kevin and was like, did you leave the fridge open? Thinking maybe, because sometimes the door won't close all the way. And even though it beeps at you, you still might not hear it. And he was like, no. So then I closed it, and it has like a power cool button. So I clicked that and came back a little while later, and it was even warmer. It was like 46 degrees. I was like, what in the heck? So we took some stuff out of it, and then I pressed some more buttons on it. It's not like a really fancy fridge or anything. It just has some buttons on the inside. and suddenly it started to cool down again. So hopefully we won't have to get a new fridge. We just had to replace our dishwasher. We've lived here for 6 years, so I don't know how old the appliances were before we got here, but probably at least a couple years. It's not fun to replace appliances. They're so expensive now. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do my white again, but I'm gonna do this in the meantime. Whoop. So this is some folk art. I don't know. It's supposed to be, I know I bought this a long time ago. It was supposed to be like you could paint on wine glasses with it. And I remember doing it and it like did not stick. So I gave up on that idea. Maybe I did it wrong, I don't know. So I just use it as regular paint. So this is just giving it a little extra sparkle. Of course, I put out way more than I need. Okay, let's see if this is dry. Oh my goodness. I'm making a mess. While I'm here, clean that edge up. Ay, ay, ay. What is going on? I like to do this when it's still wet. Makes it a lot easier to get that paint out of there. I am just messy painter tonight. Okay, now we can start getting to the fun part. Oh no, we gotta do this one too. This doesn't look too bad, but I'll do light coat on there. Okay, let those dry. I'm gonna get this paint out of the way. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to do the distressed kind of rustic look on these. So first I'm going to sand, and I'm going to use my finger sander. And I think this has 220 grit on it. You can use a heavier one, depending on how distressed you want it to be. So I'm just going to do the edges. And then try not to shake the table. It's really rocking that camera. And then I might do it across here a little bit. We're not really gonna see that too much. If you used a heavier grit, you could probably take away some of that paint if you wanted to. But I'm okay with just doing the edges. Okay, let's see. Let's do these. Well, I never actually made sure I was live on my page. Obviously I am. There I am. This is pretty quick and easy, makes a little bit of a mess, but it'll be worth it. Okay, let's see. Got this in the belts. So for these, I'm just going to do this part and then this part, because this is going to be covered up by that gold buckle. I was surprised everyone chose the boots for me to paint tonight. They are cute. And I think the Santa's going to be really cute too. I'll probably paint that tomorrow. I have to go to the dentist in the morning just for a cleaning, but we moved to Timbuktu, and that means everything's further away, so our dentist is like 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic. Sometimes I get stuck behind the school bus, which may not be a problem tomorrow because I think a lot of schools, well, I don't know. I think our local school here doesn't get out until next week. Yeah, they are, and it's going to be really cute once we do all the little greenery. At least I hope. We'll see. Okay, I have this little desk vacuum. Works pretty good. Easy to clean these up. Okay, so now we just have the white pieces. Oh, I said I wasn't going to paint both of those, and then I did it anyways. I just kind of lightly go over the top of this because it's hard to get in between the letters. Okay, so this next part I have never done before until today. What did I do with the brush? Oh crap, oh there it is. Okay, so I saw this technique earlier using a dark finishing wax. This is usually used for like chalk paint for furniture and stuff like that. I just happen to have Annie Sloan. I don't know if people even use that anymore. There's all different kinds obviously on the market, but this is just what I had. And And so you just gonna put a little on your brush, and you don't want it super heavy. You're just kind of using it to darken the sides on the white anyways. I'm not going to go across the whole thing on the white. I'm just using this, just kind of giving it an antiqued look, I guess. And this is just I don't remember where I got these. Maybe even Walmart. A waxing brush. I used to do chalk painting furniture, so I have a lot of chalk paint stuff. And if you wanted, you could go across this whole piece. I don't want mine to be that dark, dirty looking. But it kind of makes that part you sanded pop a little more, since that wood is so light. Kind of just helps it be more seen. And then if you get too much, like I got a little too much on there, you can wipe it off. I've been using, this is an alcohol wipe. That seemed to take it off better than a baby wipe. So if you get a little too much on there, you can just clean it off. So then with the darker colors, I'm gonna go fully over it. Do the edges, and then I'll go over the whole piece. So you can see it just kind of darkens it up a little bit. Probably hard to see on there. I don't really love this can because it's hard to get a good angle. And if you do this technique and use the wax, you just want to make sure you don't spray seal, because the wax will mess that up. It'll get, I think it gets like foggy looking, so the wax is kind of its own sealer. I wasn't too sure about that, but once I did it, I liked it. And you can just kind of clean your brush off so you don't have crazy amount on there. Just kind of darkens that up. I can always tell when I've been sanding a lot because my hands like numb on me. A lot easier. So like holding this brush makes my hands go numb. Yay! Okay, almost done with this part. We can start gluing it and get to the fun. This part you can probably do a little heavier. Okay, this one I'm just gonna go across. All right. Oh, this was funny. It says, for painted furniture and walls. I don't know why you'd wax your walls, but people must do it. All right, let's start gluing. Now, what did I do with my glue? It's way back here. Okay, so these went a specific way because it's kind of like sits inside of that one. Just do a little bit of glue. This is our glitter glue. Dries clear, permanent, but gives you a little wiggle room, which I always need. But it still dries fast enough that you're not sitting around. What, did I do this wrong? Maybe it goes that way. There we go. You're not sitting around too long waiting for it to dry. Okay, just get those lined up. And these go like that. And there's no score lines for this, but you can see where this part is, how to line it up. So I just line that part up and then line it up against this edge and you're good. Got a little too much glue on there. Slide around. All right, and then these go like that. just didn't move on me. That's good. Okay. Just line those up so this tab is still sticking out. And then this goes over. Ooh. Excuse me. Sits over the top there. Forgot to turn my glue gun on. Gonna need that. Alright, and then for the jolly, so that sits right here. This is just a spacer. So glue a spacer on, or you can not if you don't want to use that. You don't have to. Excuse me. My throat's itchy. Whoop. So then I'm just gonna line this up over top of that. And it should be good. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry. I'll glue one of these together. So they're meant to go like here and here, but I'm not going to do this one because I'm going to put greenery in this corner. And that's, if you didn't want, you could put this over here, do greenery on this side. What's the nice part about this is that you get to decide. And I think I'm gonna wait to glue that on and decide if I want to maybe even leave it off. We'll see after I put the greenery on and stuff. Okay, and then, so for this one that I did earlier, I did not glue this on. So you have the option, if you want it to be able to break it down, so it's a lot easier to store, then you can not glue it. This one I'm going to glue because I'm going to be putting the greenery on it, so it's going to have to stay in place permanently. So to do that, I'm just going to put a little glue here. And then this, and you have, this is a little thicker here. The thinner side goes in the back. So this fits fairly snug. I do that. And then you can just put some more glue on this one. And then fit that there. That should slide on there if I can get it lined up. I might have it backwards. No, I think I got it. You gotta make sure you have it the right direction. And then the bottom piece is just solid, doesn't have the slot. And you just glue that one on that one. So once you get to that point, you can flip it up so that you can line it, make sure it's lined up, and it'll put a little pressure on there to keep it together. Okay, so now we get to do the fun part. Okay, so I have some greenery. These are some like Christmas picks. So I'm going to use some of those. I have these are like from Hobby Lobby. I pulled those out. I think these are from Hobby Lobby too. So you can break these apart and use just pieces of them, or use the whole thing. But my thought is, I'm just gonna cut this 3-way piece off. And let's see, this is some needle nose pliers. This has wire in it, so I'm gonna use that because it's got that wire cutter part on it. Okay, so I don't know if I'm gonna need more than 2 or not. These are pretty big. Let's see if I can turn this. Put this underneath it maybe. Okay. I'm gonna come up a little bit. This is the best greenery I had for this. I don't want to cover the jolly up. Let me see if I have any other options. I had some of these I had bought at Walmart, but these are too big too. I think I'll make this work somehow. I have to start further to the side here. These do have wire in them, so I'll be able to bend them. Let's see if this glue gun's ready. So you could use a staple gun, depending on the size staples you had. Since this is 3 layers, you have a good amount you can staple into, but I'm just going to use a glue gun. It's easier. Put a good amount of glue on that. Okay, I should probably put this on. I have these little finger protectors. These ones are from the Dollar Tree, but they don't fit my fingers that well. It's like tight. But these are from Amazon. Oh, okay, so that's why I need that, so I can hold that down. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit more so I can put the other side on, and then I'll decide if I want to do a third one or not. bins so that I can I wish I had some other greenery, but the only other stuff I have is like really sparkly. And I don't think that'll look good on this. I have these picks, but they're pretty sparkly. I don't know about that. That would look weird in there. It's getting glitter everywhere. Yeah. And then I have some, these are like little wreath candle things. I could try taking those apart. Or I could just leave it how it is. I don't know about that either. Nah. I think I'm just gonna keep it simple. I gotta get all that glitter off. Okay, so let's see. I don't know what happened to this one. I must have cut it. I could maybe just, let's see. Use a piece here. Just to give it a little, make it a little fuller. Gotta stand it up. Oh, I'm dripping everywhere. Should have got that out of the way. Okay. I wonder if I could use this somehow. Let's see. That's not too bad. Okay. I'm just gonna tuck this back in here. Just kind of giving it a little more fullness there. And I just got these picks on Amazon. Nothing fancy, they're pretty inexpensive. Just looking for some ribbon I had. I'm just gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna put some lights on it though, so I probably want to do that before I do anything else. And I need to put the cap back on this. Where did it go? There it is. Okay, so for the lights, these are just fairy lights I got on Amazon. This one is a 3-foot 20 count, and should probably make sure they work. They do. They do have kind of like that copper wire, but I don't think that's gonna matter once you have everything in there. And then to secure this to the back, I'm going to use Velcro. Then you'll be able to access the screws to replace the battery if you need to. You can get Velcro dots on Amazon, or you can just they used to sell them at the Dollar Tree. I don't know if they still do. I haven't been to the Dollar Tree in quite a while. So this has like this plastic over the wire here. So I just want to make sure this is hidden behind. So I'm going to go to where that ends, and then I'm going to put my little battery pack. Got things flying off the desk here. Okay, now I don't need this right now. So these are all bendy, so they move, which is nice. But I'm just gonna start kind of twisting this around some of these. Let's see, how should I do this? I'm gonna make sure I can get it around the whole thing. Just really come around. So kind of loop that through that one, around that one. And then around this one. Might need to do more looping. Go around that. And then, let's see, we'll go around this one a couple times. Make sure I get that back one. This one, I'm actually going to go through there. It's probably the easiest way to do it. Come down. Do that one more time. Try to get it in there. And then try to kind of hide these a little better. Okay. So now I'm going to wrap this around this one. It's kind of a bit of a mess, but Christmas lights usually are. Just kind of trying to tuck that wire so you can't see most of it. Oop. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. Okay, so I'm gonna have more stuff on here in a second, but okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a jute bow, and then I have a rusty bell. I thought would be cute on here. Kind of wish it was a little more decorative. Let's see, that might be too big. I have a smaller one. That might be better. I think I like that better. Okay, so I'm going to just tie a simple little bow with my twine. Let's see, make this a little bit longer. So I'm doubling it up so you can see it more. I think a bow with like any kind of colorful ribbon would probably be a little too much. Okay. Let's see. So that'll be in there. And then this, I guess I could tie it on there. Let's see what that looks like. These are cute. They have stars on the top, but I kind of wish I had it on the bottom or like a snowflake or something. I saw some of those, but they weren't rusty like these. Ooh. Just kind of tie that together. Okay, I'm going to tie it one more time. Then I can cut it. Oh, shoot. That was the wrong piece. That's part of my bow. Okay, it's hard to tell what's what here now. No, that's not it. I think that's it. Okay, there we go. I don't know what the heck I got going on here. Okay, that's my double. Oh my gosh, I did it again. Okay. Maybe I'll just make that long so it's part of it. Make it look crazy. Okay, so I'm thinking I'll just glue that in there. And then I'll probably put some berries. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna put some glue on the bell itself and then just stick it in there. That way the bell's kind of upright. I don't know. It's not terrible. Maybe I should have just done a bow and no bell. But it's too late now. Okay, well, it's not terrible. So now I think I'm just gonna stick some of these in there. Let's see here. I'm not gonna put the whole thing in there. Let's see what this looks like if I just do little clusters. It's almost like that's a little too long. Maybe I do just need to do one at a time. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. I'm just gonna put a little glue on there and stick them in. Come on, glue. This one's kind of long. Ooh, no. Okay, good. Good thing it's the rustic look. I'm gonna have to get some more different kinds of berries. Let's see. Maybe more down in here. I wish I had some little, I have these little pine cone things, but it's not exactly what I want. Okay. It's not too bad. That's in there now. My crazy little bow. How did I end up with 3? No, that's 2. Okay, I'm going crazy. Okay, should I do one more on that side? Kind of make it even. Let's see what it would look like. This is a little too long. Hopefully that didn't kick me off. Oh. Okay. I think I'm still alive. Yes, okay. Took me off the screen, so I was worried. Okay, so there's a million ways you could do this, obviously. As frilly as you want. I like the lights in it. It's got a little messy here. Okay, so now the question is, do I put that on there? I kind of think I'm going to leave it off. I don't think it really needs it because it's got all this going on. What else? I feel like there's something I'm forgetting. No? These are the little pine cone things I have, but let's see if these untwist. It'd be cute with just the pine cones. I don't want the red. Come apart. I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, those are really short. I don't think that would really look right in there anyways. Okay, we're just gonna leave it at that. So yeah, just a little greenery and some little fairy lights can totally change it up. Oh, I was gonna, so this one, I did the splatter on. I think I'm gonna do that to this one, see how it turns out. But you can do it simple and use the berries, or you can get a little more frou-frou and use the greenery and stuff. Okay, so let's do the little, so I just use, hopefully I don't ruin it. Let's turn that off. I just water down a little of the paint I was already using. And then this is a stencil brush. And I just dip it in there. And then I just splatter. And you can do it over the greenery. Kind of looks like snow on there. Oop, got a little extra on there. Cute. Okay, there it is. just got to get some pictures taken, and then I'll get the boots listed along with the other Santa, this cutie. Some people didn't like the glasses, excuse me, but these eyebrows are connected to it. So I might see if I can make a version that doesn't have glasses and just see what happens, but I think he's cute with the glasses. So I'm going to get that listed, and then tomorrow I'm going to paint that other Santa, and I'll probably get that up, and we'll be well on our way to Christmas. Well, thank you for watching. Thanks for always showing up, Holly. I appreciate you. If you have any questions, just let me know. And you have a good night. See ya.